and welcome back to our podcast. This one's gonna be a pretty quick one. We want to just get a topic in and really get
directly
into it and address all of the issues. So what we're gonna discuss today is the topic of whether prisons as a concept in the justice system work.
Do we believe in prisons? So,
Yes. Who would like to start?
I would like to start. I believe that putting criminals in prison is right and just, as they are a danger to humanity. It matters what they committed, of course, what crime they committed.
Yeah.
However, I do believe that putting them away for a certain amount of time is actually the right
correct
thing,
way
the correct way to do it. However, I don't believe in the justice system itself, because I believe that it's
the
flawed.
court
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
yeah.
I believe that it's very flawed. I think it's...
but you think that prison time is a justified way of making someone
Of
pay
punishing.
for their action? Exactly.
But I believe that they need to be, if anything, sure, be sent to therapy in a psych ward. That's also the right thing, because there's clearly something wrong with them if they're committing crimes. However, they also do just need to be put away. For rapists and murderers, I'm gonna say they deserve prison.
Yeah, no, because the thing is, I think I see the point you're getting at, where there are extreme cases where criminals genuinely just are dangerous, full stop, and they do need to be put away from society,
Isolated,
because they are genuinely a danger, you know?
Exactly.
It's not always caused by these psychological issues. It's not always like, oh, they had a bad childhood. Everybody has a bad childhood. It doesn't mean you go out and rape and dismember people. You know?
That's so funny.
There's something wrong with you, but you are still responsible for your actions, and therefore you should pay for them.
Yeah.
However, prisons are cruel. Prisons are dehumanizing. They're places where people aren't treated as people anymore. And you can talk about how in prisons there's so much crime happening because you are putting all of these criminals in one place, and you're also giving these other people so much power.
Exactly.
You're giving them so much power, and that rape happens, and that
yeah.
abuse and that assault happens.
Yeah, because basically
prisoners.
you're taking away all these people from our society, but you're putting them in
their
own little society where everything, it's just a
It's
bunch
just
of their
criminal,
people.
yeah,
Exactly.
It's literally, they all understand, okay, we
Yeah.
don't with any of you but our own little gang. Like,
And
Yeah.
I think that idea is terrifying, that you've got all these people accused of different actions, but they're still placed in the same
Place.
I don't think that's okay. I don't think that if you've got a month-long sentence, you should be in the same institution of people that are locked in there for lifelong.
But to be fair, prisons do have those systems of different wards, I guess.
Like
so,
max security.
yeah, so there's max. So
Like
I
different
guess,
levels.
Yeah, exactly. So they do have that
That's
differentiation.
true.
And I do think that, it is, because would you say that it would be better to just isolate them completely, to put them in a completely separate room to everybody else?
What,
If someone yeah,
no,
exactly.
Like
So-
solitary?
yeah, like solitary
Because
confinement.
I
That's the
feel like
worst part. of
that
prison.
would because that would, I think, contribute to their
that would fuck them up.
exactly they would become even more literally detached from society. I think it is difficult because they can't be put back into society immediately,
They
obviously.
just need to learn morals. They just need to be taught
Exactly.
morals.
I think that one of the most fundamental parts of prison should be rehabilitation.
Absolutely.
What's the
Absolutely.
point of releasing them at some point if they don't
If they
learn?
haven't gone
Learn.
any exactly.
Because the reason that they committed it is either they didn't understand it was wrong, or they were just
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah, exactly.
This also brings up the question because obviously not every murder is the same.
Yeah, is some murder
It's
justifiable?
exactly. Is some
Yeah.
murder justifiable?
Self-defense, or I believe self-defense, but the thing is, people do get sent to prison
Exactly.
For self-defense.
Yeah.
And they get the same sentence as a genuine murderer would.
Yeah. I don't know. I think prison.
The thing is, for example, you have these moments where, in America, this happens the most. For example, is where people get sent to prison for drugs.
Yeah.
And
No.
Because they get sent to prison for drugs and they get sent to prison for the fact that they are just junkies living on the street.
Yeah.
They should not be in prison.
However,
Yeah.
some of these junkies are grateful for being sent to prison as it provides them a home,
Exactly.
it gives them
That's also
food,
true.
warmth, shelter.
Yes, but wouldn't you rather put that money and that funding into shelters and rehabilitation centers for people that have genuine drug problems? It's
the
fucked
thing
up that you can go to prison because you can go to the hospital because you've OD'd and you wake up in the morning and you realize you've been arrested.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
thing is also, think about, okay, when was like the first prison established? Let's like think about that, because obviously
Ages
they can't,
ago.
Yeah, exactly. So they can't just
Like dungeons.
stop it all of it. Exactly, they can't just stop it all of a sudden, because then it'd be
Yeah.
like, okay, so what the fuck was that?
Yeah,
Because
that's
then,
so true.
because then they're gonna go, you've just put a bunch of people inside. But I'm sorry, I have a really good example for your point that you were making at the
Yeah.
very fucking beginning, which was, and it was that I don't even remember what you said, but my example was the cartel that has been arrested, and they built
Yeah.
a prison for the cartel,
Yeah.
and they're just torturing them.
There is one. Where is it in Mexico?
Mexico, it's like
or
si-
I watched a documentary on this on
Yeah.
Netflix. Did you watch that one of the most dangerous prisons? It's a
Oh, I've
really-
seen that one.
yeah.
It's
Oh
a,
my
it's a
God.
good little
Okay.
show. It's quite entertaining. There's one about Poland as well.
Yeah.
But those are examples of prisons that are made specifically for people that did something bad. Like there's
the worst
prisons
of
that
the
are made for
worst.
rapists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's worst thing you could possibly do.
Oh my god. Oh my god. They're all.
Rapists and pedophiles.
But I hope they're all just raping each other at this point, because they all fucking deserve it.
Yeah, but on the other hand, like, that's where you kind of bring up this is where I'd bring up the
It's
question of
almost normalizing
death
them for
sentence.
Yeah, that's a big one.
So because if prison doesn't work, does death sentence work? No, it doesn't. Is there genuinely a solution for crime?
Yes,
I-
rehabilitation centers.
No, but I think when it comes to crimes like rape and like pedophilia and genuinely people that need to be sheltered from society to save us, I don't think rehabilitation is the way to go, because those people are just genuinely a threat to society.
Yeah.
They need to be kept away.
Okay, but
So then, what difference does it make if they're kept away or killed? In
Oof.
in that sense, if they're already being, I mean, because if you isolate them and then you put them with other pedophiles and rapists,
it's normalizing that.
it's
for them.
they're in a
That's a
community
good
of
point.
people who have the same mindset.
They
So
talk
they
to each other
and they
about
feel
it.
seen in that way.
Right.
They feel like they can relate to people. Oh yeah, they do
And
that
that's
too.
dangerous.
And I feel like that's also
Yeah.
what, like you said, that I feel like that's also not solving the issue. But I do think that some people can be like helped. I think some people can
For sure.
can become better, but just rape and pedophilia and like especially child rape is just fucking. It's just
Yeah.
because at least I would say if you murder someone, that's obviously that's horrible. You strip them of their life.
Yeah.
But when you, especially when you rape a child, you leave that you leave the pain.
You leave a
and
scar on them
guilt,
for the
scar
rest
them
of their
and
life.
guilt for the
Yeah.
whole life. So it's kind of like you're doing the same thing,
Yeah.
except they're still alive.
I
So
also
it's
just I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
just because we're kind of on a time crunch because it's about to start storming. I want to bring up because we've been mentioning all of these big crimes, these terrible, awful crimes that are cruel to humans. We need to talk about crimes such as tax evasion.
Like petty crime.
Yeah, petty crime, theft. I
Yeah.
mean, I understand going to prison for like grand theft,
Yeah.
right? But if you genuinely just got too many parking tickets, is prison the right answer?
No.
No.
You're right.
Make
But
them pay a
fine.
fine.
A
Higher and higher
Fine.
fine. Just make them fucking
Okay, like,
suffer through
subpoena
the.
them.
Yeah, especially that crime also, like increased crime says something about the way the government and society works.
Functions,
so the
yeah.
more like people can't find a job, the more they will start stealing or whatever. They'll be
Yeah.
suffering for that money. So that says something that maybe a deeper problem has to be fixed in
Yeah.
order to fix
Yeah.
the result
Yeah,
of that.
something's wrong with the system and not with the
Exactly.
people within
No,
the system.
Exactly, because it's
Yeah.
a system that's pushing them to steal or to do those things. So I think that's where those crimes are different to rape.
Yeah,
Because that's
because they're not.
can-
It's not that human factor in it. It's not out of personal. It's like out of personal need rather than cruelty. You know.
So, do we believe in prisons? I think we can come to the conclusion it's highly contextual.
Not again.
Once again, there's no answer.
No, I think our conclusion was that we do believe
In
In prisons.
in prisons.
Yeah.
However, for the crimes that deserve it, it's
Exactly.
Yeah,
not
it's
for
so it is contextual.
right.
Have a nice day. Goodbye.
You guys.
See you next
for
time.
listening.